Hi everyone, hope you're well. Well, what can we say? It's Q1's already out of the way. It's gone pretty quick. Hope you've been productive, hope you've been well. So, time for our monthly roundup of what's happening in publisher SEO land and just share some updates with you with SCDP. So let's start with the updates, the lay of the land. There's definitely been discussion among publisher and general SEO professionals around some of the new opportunities that they can capture or capitalize on, and they can focus on, and some things that are coming back again. So basically, there's been an article as of a couple of days ago from the time of this recording, it's just mentioning the fact that in mobile results, you can actually see web stories or visual stories coming up in mobile Google search, and it's even coming up for the likes of most competitive terms. So part of our predictions that we predicted in our Google News SEO piece and as well in our Google Trends piece earlier this year, stories is going to be the replacement, or not the replacement, but it's going to be the main focus for many publishers that we're anticipating. And if you haven't started, please get started. It can be as simple as putting an app stories plugin on the website, repurpose your content that you're sharing on social and or on the website itself, and creating a format that's going to be really competitive to use. So yeah, let's get started on that and let us know your thoughts. Any case studies, we'll love to share it. Whether you're a partner or you're a publisher client, we'd love to share on our website as a case study. I guess moving on to that as well, definitely following the there's been live events around in Australia about the global floods. There's been the Ukraine-Russia war, live updates around that, the Beijing Paralympics, and the Winter Olympics. Seen a lot more of the live events coming up again, and as a result, there's been the red tickers that are also showing up for those live news results before as well. So before that wasn't as prominent, now it's coming back again. It just seems like there's an ongoing live coverage of certain events due to the prolonged situation of certain things, like I mentioned. So there's been confusion around in the community about that and the distinctions between the two. So credit to John, he's clearly articulated the difference between the two. So you can see here the red live label. Whatever the ticker is showing up in here is related to top stories. And so you can make the most advantage of that by pretty much implementing the live blog markup. And then there's the live blog carousel. So if someone, let me just see if I can put that. So if someone goes into organic results and your brand, let me just put it here. Let's say if you put live news and you're ranking for live news or for a topic in organic results, and you're the one that's ranking for that and you're covering live stories around that, you'll be able to see a lot of the clusters, the follow-up pieces on that story as well. That chain, having the live page with the reel is going to be important and all that type of stuff. But you have to also make sure that you have applied on the beta for the live blog consideration for this feature to appear in that. We'll add that link into the newsletter or into the community post, and if you have any follow-up questions on that, let us know. So yeah, two really exciting features. Just keep an eye on them, see if you can experiment, and let us know how you go. There's also been, in terms of other updates, increasing. Sorry, I'll come back to that. There's been obviously the update around Google Universal Analytics, and that there's been finally a date that's been used to sunset. Universal Analytics, definitely seeing that you need to start putting up the Universal Analytics so that you can see the historical year-on-year comparison. because that's not going to be properly moved across from what I understand. So please make sure that you get that started. If you need help or anything around that, let us know. But essentially get that migration started and setting up the event so that you can have the year-on-year comparison. There's also been an update around the URL parameter features. So this was a pretty useful tool. So I'll show you where it is. Sorry. Say if you go to the legacy details, and this is on the profile level, not on the domain level. Click on URL parameters. This is going to be the report that's no longer be available by the end of next month. Personally, I found it to be very useful because it used to provide. It's a dangerous tool, like it says in the article, but I found it pretty useful because there was a lot of times where we found, particularly for publishers, a lot of unnecessary parameters being crawled, even though that's been no index and it was taking away attention from news articles from ranking. But they said that it's become smarter for them. The algorithm has become smart enough for them to detect that, which I'm a little bit skeptical on that. And at the same time as well, they're going to, I think, roll out a different type of tool that's going to handle that in a different way. So let's see what happens in that space, and yeah, I'll keep you posted. And I think the other exciting thing is to keep an eye on, just generally speaking, in overall publishing, or even if you're a partner and you want to build up your own brand, like other tools, other social media platforms that are creating their creator toolkits to be able to then encourage adoption of platform. It's like the new wave of Facebook or LinkedIn, how they're trying to get you guys to rent their audiences. They're creating creator tools to be able to help encourage people to stay on more. And essentially what they're saying is, like, for company pages, you're allowed to now create your own newsletter. The feature hasn't been rolled out yet. It's going to be rolled out on company profile pages eventually. But yeah, it'll be as simple as, sorry. I think if you look at the LinkedIn update, yeah, there's been a lot happening this past week for a fact. So they have article pages, as you know, you can publish long form, and then you can see here that as you're publishing articles and updates, you can also have here subscribe to our newsletter. So for many publishers or for many brands that have a massive following on LinkedIn, that's going to be a massive boost to your audience and for you to distribute your content to that audience. So keep an eye on that and see what you can do for that on that front. And then two other quick things. There's one of the challenges that we're still seeing, even after we've gone through and extensively updated a lot of clients' core web vitals and seeing gradual improvements on that, is the fact that there's third-party issues with tracking that's still slowing down the website, even though you're doing that asynchronously or through solutions like NitroPack. People in the publisher space are increasingly using products that are being relatively third-party manager tools that are being readily available. So Cloudflare, Zaraz, we haven't tried that yet. We're going to try that out, and we'll let you know in the next update. But what it looks like you can do is you can actually externalize all those Google Analytics tracking and everything else into the Cloudflare, onto the server, which is then ultimately going to help you with page experience, site speed, SEO, and your ad management as well. So do try this if you have a chance. It seems like a lot of the bigger publishers are already using this, including Thomson Reuters. So please feel free to go ahead and use this. And then, sorry. And then finally, Google publisher, Danny Sullivan from Google Public Relations, they had a webinar around the fundamentals of Google News. I highly suggest you guys watch this when you get a chance, or just register to watch on demand. We'll include the link of the YouTube video if you don't want to sign up, but really useful in the sense of if you have new team members that need to understand what Google News SEO is about and then what the landscape is, because it's very different to other landscapes, as you know. You can pretty much get an overview of this in 45 minutes. So how to appear in Google News, best practices. They talk about questions around why you're not appearing in top stories, all that type of stuff, which is pretty interesting to know. In saying that as well, quick updates from our end, because we're already past 10 minute mark. We've done extensive work in updating our Google News SEO cluster content, which is the main area that we're focusing on. We focused on in the past month. Subsequent months, we're going to be focusing on clusters around editorial, publishing, best practices, and content strategy, particularly on our toolkit. As you can see here, yeah, these have all become paid content. If you check out our Google News content, we've left that for free and open because that's our pillar piece that we're providing best practices in general, but links to them for specific material towards these pieces here. We've got a 50% off first month membership offer for anyone that signs up. So if you can feel free, if you're a partner and want to share this with your clients and get them to benefit after this offer, please let me know and I'll arrange a specific deal for you guys with a specific coupon code. Otherwise, yeah, for anyone that you want to just forward this across, we've got a 50% off until the end of the month. But please do feel free to have a look at our Google News SEO content edition. It's a lot more extensive and it covers the true reflection of what we've seen in the past few years in terms of what kind of surfaces you can take advantage of, what are some of the troubleshooting things you can look at when you're not performing, updated ranking factors, considering that AMP's no longer a ranking factor, but it's something you can use to influence your ranking still for mobile, and other stuff like that. So yeah, that's that. And then the other update that we have as well is that we're on the verge of actually inviting beta testers for our content auto tool. So what we found a challenge is that there's been a lot of publishers that have a lot of historical content that is not performing well. And whenever we've started with them, there's been extensive focus on recategorization, improving the site taxonomy, heavy work in actually briefing in content, in the first couple of months, which has definitely appreciate the patience for a lot of our publishers on that. So to help get us that done faster and more effectively, we have used spreadsheets in the past, but either they're too black and white. What I mean by black and white, they're too drastic in the recommendations, and you still have to go through and manually curate that to make exemptions, or basically we have another more detailed spreadsheet, but that takes us about 1 to 1.5 days to actually populate. So with our tool now, we're able to do that within a couple of hours. You see the list of priorities and results. If you're interested in that beta test and provide us feedback, we're more than welcome to give you access for a limited time with some limited report runs, and then after that we'll announce soft launch pricing, which will have pricing as a standalone offering for our members with a discount, but eventually it will become part of our overall member pricing, which is going to potentially see an increase in our pricing. But we'll offer them separately, both the subscription content, SaaS, and then a combined solution we'll offer together. Okay, so let me know as you've seen in the newsletter as well, there'll be some challenges and there'll be some updates from our partners, or there'll be some other interesting information that you see. Let us know if you have any other updates we can share in the next update that we can share with our community as well. And yeah, feel free to reach out at any time if you want to have a chat. If you have any questions that you feel like your clients are struggling with, it's vahe@stateofdigitalpublishing.com. But look forward to speaking to you the next time. Thank you.